Barbershop conversation, guys. Feel free to hit the subscribe button. So I saw Town Biz and I had a conversation yesterday. If you haven't listened to it, I suggest you go listen to it. And we disagreed on Lavar Ball and Kenny Porter, and there are a host of other fathers that support their kids by any means necessary. And I listened to TicketTV's video, and he disagrees with me as well. But I'll just say this. Why do we want sports to emulate real life? Sports is a caveat in which to fulfill life dreams, right? And I hate when people say you got to have good character to compete. I'll tell you this, and you can ask any one of my teammates from, I probably started this in the 11th grade. I never shook my opponent's hand with my right hand. Never. My opponent has never touched my right hand. And I still do it in old man 35 and over basketball. I don't shake hands before the game. I give them a left hand fist bump, whatever it is. I always walk to the other end of the court by the free throw line because I've been trained to do that since I was 7 years old, 6 years old on a jump ball, if you're a little point guard like me, to protect the rim. But we got to get off the notion that LeVar Ball is doing something bad. First of all, if you have, let's use LeVar, let's use the atypical black man's perspective and where he comes from, right? The plight of a black man in America. There's nothing in your vessel, right? You get a penny, you put it in the vessel. Now, you shake that penny up and it makes the most noise. The more pennies you get, it weighs down the vessel and you don't have to shake it anymore. And that's life. Until you get to where you expect yourself to get, you got to make it happen. Because at the end of the day, 10 years from now, when another black kid gets shot and killed and murdered, and we're mad at our black leaders or black athletes for not speaking out against what happened, but they don't speak out because they have a PR company that's white. They have that's telling them, oh no, you should stay silent. I know how you feel about it, but you should stay silent. Don't say nothing at all. Because if you do, we could use current and potential sponsors. So, and whereas we have a boisterous man who, if you've seen his Stephen A. Smith video, you know he's running the gamut on trying to build his brand. And there are no casualties in sports. Casualties is a caveat in which for us to build our better lives. And if LeVar Ball has to talk shit about athletes in the NBA, which is 83% black, then so be it. Then the best, listen, as I told you guys, no matter what sport you play, the best athletes are black. And the major three, and we want to include boxing, the best athletes are black. So if you want to be the best, you have to be better than a black athlete. That's simple. Peyton Manning said he was going to be the best quarterback ever. His goal was to be the best quarterback ever. Brett Favre wanted to be the best quarterback ever. He was not shy about it. Joe Montana believes he is the best quarterback to ever play the game. Tom Brady, in his arrogant way, says he is the greatest player to ever play this game. You know, they do it in different ways, but the message is still the same. Michael Jordan will not waver on saying he could beat any NBA player in his 50s. So I think we're being misled down the wrong path when we say a father can't monetize and maximize his child? For real? So what you do as a parent, you say, oh, because this guy went to school, this kid went to school that I don't know. I've only been in the office and I've interviewed him a couple of times, and I've seen the pictures on the walls. I've seen an exaggeration of who he really is. And I'm supposed to go with him over me having the ability to do my job? I don't get it, you know? I don't get it. It's like me when I buy a property. I know what I'm giving the realtor. So you know what I do? I go to the listing agent and I say, here's the deal. I qualify for this offer. This is the property I want. You give me, if you get 3%, you take 2%, and you take 3% of the seller, and you get 5% of this deal, and I save 1% on the deal. That's just, I'll do a separate video on that to explain that to you in further detail. But I don't understand where we went. Where did we go as a culture to believe that sports must emulate life? I'll say this, like Ticket plays professional basketball, right? I didn't make it to be a professional basketball player. And I mean, by all accounts, everyone's taller than me as a basketball player. But I was a hell of a basketball player. And the reason why I was a hell of a basketball player, because I cheated within those lines. If I had to guard someone like, I presume Ticket's over 6 feet. If I had to guard someone like TicketTV, my forearms would be in his chest from the 28-foot line. Because I know he wants to go, he wants to walk me down to the post, catch the ball, pivot, either back me down or try and get off a half hook or a short bank shot. I know that. And I know he may get it off in the first quarter, in the second quarter. But in the third quarter, he may get tired of me putting my forearms in his chest at the 28-foot mark. And that's the realities of it. I've stepped on many opponents' feet. And it's amazing how many basketball players value their sneakers more than the game. And I know this. 8 out of 10 basketball players I've competed against that I presume that have physical attributes better than me, I would step on their Jordans. Step on their brand new Nikes. Dawg, why you step on my Jordans? Man, my bad. My bad. I didn't mean to. They value their Jordans more than trying to catch the ball and score me. When I was in football, I was on kickoff, because I was a backup player, so I did all the special teams and shit. Punt return, kickoff return. I did all that shit, right? And I remember pinching the guy when so I mean, I don't get it. Now, being belligerent, disrespect, like spitting in the guy's face like Bill Romanowski did to J.J. Stokes, I don't like that. But shaking a man's hand, nigga, I just went to war with you. You know, and because I'm such a gentleman outside in real life, I get away with all this shit. 100% I get away with all this shit. You know, it's just the realities of it. And sports is not supposed to emulate life. We've been bamboozled and tricked. When you put on a jersey, pick up a ball, pick up a bat, you are a gladiator. I remember watching St. John's practice. Steve Lavin was the coach. And he told his players, play through the echo of the whistle. This was 5 years ago. I wish my coach would have taught me that. Play through the echo of the whistle. Finish the foul. Finish the defensive possession. Finish everything. You know, and I support LeVar Ball. I mean, dude just turned into a mogul, a little mogul. And keep in mind, we have to build wealth in America. Just to give you guys an example, America conned Mexico out of their land and called it New Mexico. How disrespectful, how slap in the face is that? America says Christopher Columbus is a hero. America tells you Indians are happy. Malcolm X says by any means necessary. Malcolm X says by any means necessary. I listen to, as much as I can, I listen to Louis Farrakhan. I'm not a Muslim, but I know truth when I hear it. The reason why I love Kobe Bryant, because he was a killer. He never respected his opponent. Never. The reason why I love Charles Barkley as a player, because he never respected his opponent. The reason why I love Dennis Rodman, because he hated Karl Malone when he competed against him. Rodman thought he was the greatest, and Karl Malone thought he was the greatest for different variances, right? You can argue Dennis Rodman is one of the greatest power forwards to ever play the game that's never scored a point, you know? So, excuse me, Tim Duncan, right? I apologize. Tim Duncan was definitely a combination of both of them guys, but, you know, he's definitely a top 5, top 10 power forward, you know, truth be told, about Dennis Rodman of the current basketball era. I don't know anything about the 60s and the 70s, but we need to fully understand our role in this. If black men don't take ownership of what they create and what they make, you will be a muse to that gay Jewish white man that's pulling your fucking strings. I'll use me as an example, since first person accounts goes much longer than just telling a third person party story. What gives me, and I've had this conversation with Dante. Dante tells me this, we talk about this quite often. The reason why I can not give a fuck whether Golden Girls give me a credential or not, you know why? Because they don't make me. They don't define me. It's not about how much money I make, not how much money I have, but because I believe I can get it again and again and again. I just believe that. You understand what I'm saying? And there's nothing that's going to hinder me that will shatter my belief. So, and because I stay true to who I am, I respect the fact that people have an opinion about me. If no one has an opinion about you're mediocre. If someone doesn't question your ambition or passion, it's not big enough. LeVar Ball said his goal was to create 3 NBA basketball players. 3 of the greatest NBA basketball players ever played this game. He had the conversation with his wife years ago. I've heard him say in an interview. And guess what? He fulfilled it. You know who did the same thing? Michael Thompson. Michael Thompson said he wanted to find a breeder. It wasn't about love. It wasn't, I'm paraphrasing. I'm assuming his thoughts right now in this sense. He didn't care about love. He just wanted to find a breeder in which he could create great athletes, because he wanted great athletic children. And he did. LeVar Ball did the same thing. And in my hood, you got to fight to get out. And when you get out the hood, you have to make a better living for yourself. So I'll say this. You have a duty in life, and that is to make your children, to fulfill their purpose. What is your child's purpose or passion? All right, what is it? And it's your job to fulfill it. And to live vicariously through your child. I'm going to live vicariously through my son. Whether you see it negatively, you see it positively. If I see my son, this is just a small example. If I see my son in a small defensive stance, he's opening up his hips too much, I'm going to tell him, I think you're opening up. That's living vicariously through my son, because I've experienced it before, right? I know if I open up my hip towards the baseline, it's going to be easier for him to go baseline and potentially score him, and my son may potentially have to foul him. But if I square up and if I have to open up towards the middle for help, or some defensive schemes say baseline help is better, use the side of the backboard as a defender, the corner of the backboard as a defender, so you wall them off there. I mean, some people say that. Some people like to help towards the middle, towards the elbow. Elbow is for all my boxing fans, the elbow is the corner of the free throw line. So it's so I'm glad we can have this dialogue, because as you guys know, I'm a pacifist. I don't believe in violence. I believe in self-defense. I don't believe in, and the only reason why I box, well, not the only reason, I box to get in shape. But I mean, self-defense. I'm going to get tried sooner or later, and I hope I don't, because I don't ever want to fight nobody, because I'm either going to win or lose. So, and I don't want to, I'd rather win in life. I'd rather win in a bank account, or I'd rather win in character. That's just where I'd rather win. I like going in my garage and looking at my cars. I love it. I love going to the bank, looking at my bank account statements. I love it. I love looking at my son, knowing he's going to have a better life than I had. I don't want to fight no random dude on the street and project my masculinity on him. Nah, I'd rather help him. Hey, this is my tidbit. I've actually, and be honest with you, this is the God honest truth. I had a guy that wanted to fight me one time, and I said, listen, like he was mad because I parked kind of too close to him or something like that. And but he was kind of jealous of the car that I drove, and I sensed it, right? And he's like, man, he was trying to forgive me. I said, listen, brother, I says, and when you call a guy brother, it's kind of condescending, right? But I was trying to put it on an even playing field. And I said, listen, I don't know what's going on, but whatever you're trying to accomplish, I just want to help you. And the conversation went from him wanting to kick my ass to me helping him, and I gave him a contact. And that's where I am in my life. I ain't trying to rip nobody off. When I walk out my front door, I have no enemies. And when I walk out my front door with my child, I have no enemies. So I'm really glad we can have this conversation. And but I think we've been bamboozled to believe that there is a construct, or we have to lie within a circumference when it comes to our children. No, you don't. No, you do not. No, you do not. And the question, we don't ever have to answer the question, would they have made it without LaVar Ball? Would Sean Porter would have made it without Kenny Porter? We don't have to ask those questions because they've made it. And the lifestyle that I can project upon his kids moving forward is a great lifestyle. How does it feel, potentially, you never ever have to go to the unemployment office? How does it feel to know your bank account will always have at least 6 figures in it? That's a hell of a lifestyle, man. How does it feel to know that when you wake up in the morning, you're fulfilling your purpose? You've exceeded your dreams. So that's my stance on it. And at the end of the day, I'm going to say this to Ticket, I'm going to say this to Town. No matter how much money you have, you're still a nigga. All right? And when you run out of value, you're still a nigga. And when you get 45 and your talents can't monetize you, you'll be calling ESPN trying to get them to promote your football camp, your basketball camp, your boxing camp, and they won't do it. But if you stay true all the way through, guess what? You got 100 warriors. You got 100 warriors like me on YouTube supporting you. You know? And the word gets out, and you meet your quota. So that's where I stand on it. LaVar Ball, continue doing what you're doing. He's doing it all in fun. Listen, if I went on YouTube and I said, I could do it. I literally could go on YouTube and be like, fuck 78. I'm the best YouTube channel. Fuck Dante's Boxing Nation. I'm the best YouTube channel. Who else? Boxing Eagle has a great channel. Ellie has a great. I could say fuck all these dudes. I'm the next up and coming. I could do it. I literally could do it. But that's not the route I want to take. I'm not saying it's wrong. You know what I would do? I would call each one of the motherfuckers and say, listen, I'm about to go on a rampage. I'm about to say I have the greatest YouTube channel. Don't take offense to it. I just want to get my subscribers up. I'm going to create some YouTube controversy so people come back to my channel. You'll get some people coming to your channel. Don't mind the comments. I can do it that way as well. But whatever route you take, it has to work. There's nothing wrong with saying I'm a better basketball player than you. Or I have the best YouTube channel. Now, where you go wrong is I'm a better father than you. I raise my kids better than you. No. Listen, there's a lot of money in the sky. There's a big pie in the sky, and it has infinite amounts of wealth, success, and everything else in between. It has infinite. All right? And go get it. All right? Malcolm X says, by any means necessary. He says the white man is the devil. And we still want to live in accordance with the white man. You are a barbaric gladiator when you compete in sports. Okay, just simplify it. There is no place on earth I will walk around naked with 70 men when I played football. Who does that shit? There is no place on earth where I drop my mouthpiece in a pool of mud and I put it back in my mouth. There is no place on earth where I'm slapping a white man's ass. There is no place on earth where I'm fucking getting hit. A dude running downhill 20 miles an hour trying to tackle me. You are a barbaric gladiator. Normalcies of life does not... Oof. Let me tell you something. Don't be bamboozled and believe that there's a guideline in which you get your money in sports. Don't be bamboozled, okay? Please don't. Please don't. Please don't. 50 Cent is the most... You know 50 Cent said... Well, I've never met 50 Cent. I've only listened... Like many of you guys, I only know him through blogs and first-person stories. But 50 Cent said the most genius thing ever. He says... If Kanye West outsells me, I'm going to retire. He says, fuck Diddy. Him and Diddy are probably close friends. He says, why does he do it? And why do you support Diddy? Right? Because he did it, right? From the hood. He did it. He made it. Genius promotion. Don't spend no promotion. Just open your mouth. Oh, Empire? That piece of shit show, they copying me. That shit goes viral. How much did he pay on PR? Nothing. He just posted it on his Instagram. So milk the cow. Milk the cow. And 50 Cent admits he does this for PR. Admits it. Oh, Terrence Howard doesn't look as good as Amari, as Ghost. He said it a million times. Right? So anyways, man, Barbershop Conversation. Feel free to hit the subscribe button. And I know you guys have sides on this. Because you're human, you got to have an opinion on the way Kenny Porter and Lavar Ball are raising their kids. But let me tell you this. You're not pimping your child out if you're monetizing and maximizing their talents. John Calipari wears a $100,000 watch when he coaches basketball. John Calipari has put 3 schools on probation because he cheated. John Calipari is the first or second most recognizable college coach in America if you like Mike Krzyzewski. All right? John Calipari has never had a white lottery pick that I can remember off the top of my head. Rex Chapman didn't play for him at Kentucky. So go figure. Think about this for a second. All right? Think about what I'm telling you guys. All right? So anyways, man. Barbershop Conversations. Feel free to hit the subscribe button. And talk to you guys soon. Peace.